What's up, guys? Hello, welcome back to another video, and I'm excited to be back. This last week I was on vacation in Florida, so that's why we didn't have a video last week. Kind of took a little break from that, but I'm excited to be back now and excited to bring you guys a devotional thought for this week. So this week we're going to be in Hebrews chapter 4, verses 14 through 16. So if you got your Bibles, as always, turn there and you can read along with me, and we'll get right into it. So Hebrews chapter 4, verse 14 through 16, it says, "Therefore, since we have a great high priest who has gone through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold firmly to the faith we profess. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weakness, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet was without sin. Let us then approach the throne of God, or the throne of grace, with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and grace to help us in our time of need." So there's so much to break down, so much to pull from this short little passage here. So there's a couple things I kind of want to just highlight and dive into. So first is this idea of Jesus as the great high priest. Jesus is our high priest. This role of the high priest, originally it was a role in the Old Testament. There would be a high priest who would, his job was to go to God on the behalf of the people. So the high priest would need to offer sacrifices on the behalf of the people's sin as well as their own sin. They had to offer animal sacrifices, but they were also kind of just the communal point between God and the people. The high priest had to serve as kind of the bridge to bridge the gap between God and people, because there was a greater separation from God because of their sin, unless there was a animal sacrifice offered. So people only had communion or connection to God through the high priest. Now, the same role of the high priest is still there, but it is now fulfilled through Christ. So Jesus is now our high priest, and he is the final high priest. He is our high priest once and for all. So now Jesus has sacrificed by dying on the cross and raising again from the dead. He's offered a sacrifice for our sin once and for all. So now there is eternal, permanent atonement for our sin. But also, Jesus is now sitting beside the Father in heaven, and he is going to the Father on our behalf at all times, making us in right standing with God at all times. The same way the high priest in the Old Testament would bridge the gap between God and the people, Christ is now in heaven, constantly bridging the gap between us and God. There's now no separation from God because of Christ, fulfilling this high priestly duty. Okay, another thing that I also want to highlight is when Hebrews says we have a high priest who is able to sympathize with our weakness. See, Jesus, we don't have a high priest in Jesus just sitting up there looking down at us going, "Oh, look at these trash humans who can't do anything right." But we have a high priest in Jesus who understands the struggles that we go through. Jesus came to earth and he was tempted. He felt pain and suffering. He went through the things that we go through. Although he was still sinless, he understands the things we struggle with. He understands our pain. He's able to empathize with our human struggles, with what we go through. And so when we go to Christ, when we come to God with our burdens, or we come to God asking for forgiveness, Jesus understands what we're going through. He's able to empathize with us. So we're able to approach a great high priest who can understand the struggle we're going through and empathize with us, and there's confidence we can take in that. So that's why it says then in verse 16, "Let us then approach the throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need." Knowing that we have Jesus, our great high priest, in heaven, interceding on our behalf at all times making us in right standing with God and empathizing with us, we can approach God directly, and we can approach God with confidence, knowing that we will receive the grace and the mercy that we need. If we're truly repentant, we can approach God and receive the grace that we need and receive the strength that we need to continue on in our faith. Hebrews is encouraging us to stay steadfast in our faith, to stay confident in our faith, moving forward with our faith, not growing weary, knowing that we can approach God with confidence and receive all that we need to continue in our faith. We have no excuse to be hindered in our faith or to be burnt out, because we can approach God directly and receive all that we need. We can be confident that God will give us everything that we need through Christ. So let's be encouraged this week to approach God with confidence. Approach the throne of grace with confidence. Receive grace for your life this week. Ask God for his mercy with confidence, and approach God asking him to give you the strength that you need to continue in your faith this week. Let's just be encouraged that we have Jesus fighting on our behalf at all times, making us in right standing with God. And through Christ, we can receive all that we need for our faith. So that's all I have for you guys this week. Just a little bit of encouragement. Hopefully that can just add confidence to your faith this week, and a little, just encouragement to keep going, keep moving forward with confidence. Let's not grow weary. Let's keep running the race with perseverance. Let's hold steadfast to our faith. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week for another video. Bye.